Hey folks, welcome back to Final Fantasy XVI, where last time, after defeating the last of the notorious marks available to us on the hunt board, we consulted with Joshua and Dion and formed a plan to reach the Origin Crystal and confront Ultima. For now, our next move is to speak with Jill, who it looks like is up in our room, on the balcony outside our room. Let's go. I probably need to check in with Karen here. I think I burned through some potions. Yeah, 1 of 8. I do still have those elixirs, the 2 elixirs I bought that I've never used. I haven't had a situation where I was completely out of potions and like very close to winning some fight where I needed them, but they're available. They're in my inventory. All right, let's check in with Jill.
Clive たちが無事に帰れるようにメティアにお願いしなきゃ。待ってるから。
約束しただろう。また一緒に月を見るって。
ええ、信じてる。
よし、悔いが残らないようできるだけのことをしてから出発しよう。
Ah, okay. So I thought like as soon as we head to Ultima, we're going to be done. But they waited until literally the very last second to put a crap ton more side quests on the board. And I bet we have more notorious hunts too. Yeah, we have more of everything. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Plus here at the reading table, there's more. 7, 8. Okay. And then out in the world, is there more than that? Yep, okay. Yeah. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more side quests to do, and probably some more hunts. So get ready for like 10 more episodes, you guys. I thought we were done. Actually, it makes sense because we had, up in Northreach, Eloise was dealing with that Duke who was going to turn the town into his personal fiefdom. And then down in Dalamil, Lubor was dealing with the prejudice of being outed as a bearer, right? And then here in Tabor, I can't remember what this one was, but somebody else had a problem as well. So yeah, it looks like we've got a bunch of side quests to do that's probably going to... One of them is going to give us the materials we need to complete our ultimate weapon, or possibly one of the new hunts on the board. We should go check that out as well, but we'll start here at the reading table. All right, so guys, let me be clear. We are going to do every single side quest in the game, which means we've got at least 5 or 6 more episodes before we get to the final fight with Ultima. If that's not your cup of tea, I'm sorry, but I planned when I started this out to see this through to the end, so we're going to do everything. And I definitely want those ultimate weapons before we go to the final fight. I want to have that feeling of like I did everything I possibly could in the game. So let's start here at the reading table and check out what these 2 quests are. First of all, In a Mood, from Karen. In case you haven't noticed, your poor hound spends all his time of late on my rear deck, whimpering like Gav in his cups. Something ain't right, and my gut tells me it's not to do with his supply of antelope bones. All right, we're definitely going to do anything we can to help Torgal. Maybe that powers him up before the final fight. That'd be great. We should actually check on that. If we go over to... If we go into the pause menu and go to attributes... we can see that he is a Dromy striker, but he's not quite all the way to the end of his experience bar, or his pedigree here. So there is a way for us to level him up, and possibly this quest has something to do with it. Let's check out the other one here at the reading table. In Search of a Lost Tome. I'm guessing this is from... Oh, I thought this would be from Harpocrates, but it's from Vivian. Reluctant as I am to add to your burdens, I would ask your aid in a personal matter, albeit one that may be beneficial to your cause. There exist ancient texts deemed so injurious to modern thought that mere possession is deemed a crime, and it was a chance encounter with one such tome, from a distance, that sparked within me the scholastic curiosity which burns to this very day. I wish to enlist your aid in reclaiming that text. Should you require further incentive, know that I'm willing to offer compensation for services rendered. An inconvenient truth, absolutely.
珍しいな、彼女からの頼みとは。
Okay, so let's start by taking on these two quests. 2 of the 10 available to us. The other thing we can do is check out the hunt board and see what's new there. But let's start by talking to Karen. It looks like looks like our curious kitchen friend over here wants to make another crazy recipe as well. Let's check in with Karen though.
Yeah, Clive.
Oh, what does she think about Origin?
いいかい、Clive.
Here to say your goodbyes, are you? Ta-ra then, for now. But you'd better come back, or I'll fly up there and drag you home by your ear.
ありがとう、カロン。
Thank you, Charon. Didn't think you'd find the thought appealing. Look, just don't die, all right? Changing leadership's bad for business. You're off to kill a god, so what? You've done everything else you put your mind to, haven't you? You can do this too. All right, she's sweet, underneath that gruff exterior. So wait a minute, what do we do about the quest here? Visit Torgal on the rear decks. Okay. Let's see. Where is he on the rear? Where's the rear deck? What are we looking for? More than words? More than words. All right, he's back here near the rear stacks. Okay, so we go past our blacksmith friend. No, not this way. Oops. There we go. We go past Blackthorn and then hang a left. Looks like Goots has a few things to say as well.
どうしたの?
What are you feeling about Karen? There's no one like our Nan. She can be a bit grumpy, but deep down she's got a heart of gold. My mam and dad worked me like a dog and still called me a witless, worthless waste of space. Said it so much I started believing them. But then Nan got wind of how they were treating me and she didn't like it one bit. Pulled out a big fat purse full of gold and threw it at their feet. Your lad's worth double that, she said, and if you lot can't see it, you hand him over to someone who can. All that shining, glittering gill, and Nan said I was worth more. I'd never been so happy in my life. And I've never looked back. I started working for Nan right then and there, and I'll gladly stay with her till my dying day. Alright, I'm not sure what his perspective would be on this, but I'm curious, so let's ask about Origin as well.
Clive!
I wish I could go up there with you. Doesn't seem right leaving everything up to you three.
Yeah.
It's hardly everything. There's plenty that still needs to be done down here, like seeing to our stores and keeping Karen safe. Only you can do that, Goots.
わかった。
And I will, I promise. I won't let Nan come to harm no matter what. You can count on me, just like we're all counting on you to come back safe and sound. Alright.
頑張って。
A good character. Alright, let's check in with Torgal here. What's the matter with you, boy? Are you got worms?
Torgal, カローンが心配してたぞ。何を見ているんだ? そういえば、この足の飾りはいつから?
シドがつけたんだよ。初めて隠れ家に連れ帰った時にね。
シドが?
この子が来たばかりの頃は自分の前足を噛む癖があったんだ。見かねたシドがそいつを無理やりはめたのさ。
トルガル、どうして?
語り部によれば、マロってのは一度主を定めるとそばを離れたがらないものらしい。あんたと離れてしまったことに心が耐えきれなかったのかもしれないよ。外してほしけりゃてめえで探し物を見つけてみろってよくシドがトルガルをからかってたもんだけど、まさか本当に見つけてくるとはね。
そうだったのか。すまなかったな、トルガル。よし、そいつを外してやろ
う。おや、存外気に入ってるみたいだ。
そうか。これはお前にとって指導の形見でもあるんだな。なんだ、外へ行きたいのか。
やっぱりどこかに行きたがってたんだね。私の思った通りさ。
俺なんかよりずっとトルガルを分かってる。
そりゃそうだろう。この隠れ家で一番面倒を見てるのは私なんだから。
カロン、ありがとう。いつもトルガルを気にかけてくれて。
この子はおしゃべりじゃないから気が楽なだけだ。ほら、さっさと言ってやんな。
たまにはトルガルに付き合ってやるとするか。
Okay, Torgal wants to go somewhere. Let's follow him.
So, でトルガル、どこへ行きたいんだ？困ったな。それじゃわからないよ。トルガルの行きたいところ。お前が裏デッキで見てたのはロザリアの方角だったな。
He wants to go home?
そうだ。久しぶりにあそこへ行ってみるか。俺たちの秘密の場所、ロザリス城が見えるあの離れ小島に。よし、決まりだ。ならまずはポートイゾルデに向かおう。近くの桟橋で船を借りなければ。
Okay, Torgal wants to go home to Rosaria. Make for the mooring outside Port Isolde. Let's do it. Looks like we're taking a row.
さて、この小舟を借りるとしよう。トルガル、島に渡るぞ。昔は抱えて乗れたが、今のお前じゃ船がひっくり返りそうだな。
Oh, come on, he can fit in there.
冗談だよ。あの頃のままか。秘密の場所があるのは島の中央だ。この道をお前とよく競争したな。
Oh, a treehouse. Or no, that's too big to be a treehouse. It's just an elevated entrance. The Rookery. They must have spent time here when he was a kid.
鳥の巣か。ここは俺たちの秘密の場所だったな。
Can Torgal climb ladders? I guess so, apparently.
ここにいる間だけは解放されたよ。立場、力、責任、ただの子供でいられた。あんな姿を見せていたのはお前だけだ。トルガル？
Did we leave something behind?
もしかして城からフェニックスゲートも。これをお前だけで。それは俺の。まさかずっと探してくれてたのか、俺を。ありがとう、トルガル。
Somebody's cutting onions in here.
忘れずにいてくれて。こいつは持っていこう。思い出を忘れないように。
Torgal's a great, great character. Really well done. I mean, you know, any dog in a video game is probably going to be a fan favorite, but he's really fantastically
この
well
先か
done
ら
in
ロザリ
this
ス
one.
城が見えたはず。
Oh, he's got something else to show us.
そうだな。あの丘に寄って帰ろう。おやつだ。うん、この先だ。
I also like, I also appreciate, I guess, the interposition of this side quest with the end of the game. You know, it take a moment to think back, to reflect, to remember the good times, to remember what you're fighting for, to value your friendships before you go into the fight of your life, right? To try and save the world. I think that's a nice touch to place this particular quest here and now in the flow of the story.
「トルガル、お前は俺たちの思い出を守ってくれてた。だから今度は俺がお前の、いやみんなのこれからを守る番だ。さあ帰ろう、俺たちの家に。」
Quest complete. All right. A nice touching moment between man and his best friend. We picked up the charred sparring sword, Clive's old sparring sword salvaged by a faithful friend in the aftermath of the Ironblood invasion 18 winters past. Remember, Clive, your blade is not your only weapon, Rodney Murdoch. And then Cavill's Fang +1 increases Torgal's attack potency. Even a legendary king, surrounded by the realm's greatest knights and blessed by the very heavens, would have found himself hard-pressed to unite the warring tribes of ancient Valisthea. Fortunately, he had the help of his fine and trusty hound Cavill. Okay, so there's one sweet and short side quest completed. Let's head back and talk to Vivian, who needs our help with something else. Oh, a new missive has been delivered to our chambers. I suppose we can check that out. A fine hound. From Karen. The two of you have been together for what probably feels like a lifetime now, but there's still a lot you have to learn about that hound of yours. He'd step in front of a bloody raging behemoth if it meant protecting you. But that don't mean you should take it for granted. At the end of the day, he's a hound, and sometimes he just wants someone to pat his head and rub his belly and give him a handful of kupo nuts. You do good to remember that. Truer words, Karen, truer words. Alright, off to Vivian. And I think along the way we'll take a quick glance at the hunt board, see how many new hunts have appeared. I hope it's not 10. I mean, they're fun, but they're not that fun. Everybody needs something. Everybody's got a side quest. Wow. It's a lot. Looks like we did earn another reward over there. Let's check in with Nectar here. No new hunts. Okay, fair enough. Let's grab these Genji gloves, though. Curious what they are. Continental acclaim. If the drunken galley captain I shared a table with last night is to be believed, word of your exploits has made its way across the seas to the great continent. What's more, she claims there are those who would see you flourish, herself being one such woman. From Girath. Okay, so what is this exactly? We would probably put these on in place of the scholar's spectacles at a certain point. Let's see what they do. The island warriors of the Far East are said to claim a piece of armor from a slain soldier following a battle, wearing it over their own until the next encounter, at which time they finally remove it. The warriors believe that the spirit of the fallen foe will now lend them their strength. Increases damage dealt to enemies by 5%. Okay, that's actually pretty good. Pretty strong, I think. We'll check in with Gout here, but I think he's just going to show us the quests we already know about, right? Yeah, under new management 2. Lines in the sand 2. Dying on duty 2. Okay. So those are the 3 we saw out in the world. We already kind of knew about them. Let's check in with Vivian. She's looking for a book.
Vivian, 手紙を読んだぞ。書物探しを引き受けよ
う。実にありがたいことだが、こうも簡単に君が受けてくれるとは。
いつも頼み事をしてばかりだからな。たまにはお前のも聞いてやるさ。
君の行為に感謝しておこう。だが、あの書物を探すのは一筋縄ではいくまい。世に数冊しか出回っておらず、その全てのありかが分かっていないのだから、語り部からも諦めるよう勧められたよ。
とはいえ、書物となれば一番詳しいのは彼だ。俺からもハルポクラテスに話を聞いてみよ
う。無茶であることは承知の上で頼む。クライブ、どうか手に入れてほしい。外観の処刑。私が学者を志すきっかけとなった金賞。
This better not be like a smut book that she's looking for. Alright, off to the stacks we go to speak with Hippocrates about this elusive tome. If anyone would know, it would be him. Is that... Joshua says a side quest for us? Okay, that I'm curious about. Since when does Joshua give us side quests, right? What does he want? Probably something for Jote or the Undying before we leave, for good and possibly die. Let's check in with Hippocrates, though.
おや、クライブ。どうかしたのかね？
あんたに聞きたいことがある。外観の処刑という書物のことなんだが。
あはあ、お主の口からその名を聞けるとは。赤先生といい、珍しい書物を好む。一体どこでそれを？
ビビアンからだ。手に入れてほしいと頼まれた。
赤先生も諦めがつかなかったか。あの書物はもう世には残っていない。執行者によって処分されただろう。
執行者？
偉大なる知識や伝承、それらの記された書物を禁書と定め、その回収を責務とする集団と聞く。特に九段の外観の処刑には ベアラーに関する真実が書かれてい
The
るとい
true
う
history of the
歴史
enslavement
を
of
覆し
bearers.
かねないほどの代物。故にこの書物もまた禁書となった。目にしたことすらないわしに真偽はわからんがね。
そんな奴らが。
すでにあまたの書物が彼らの手の中、どこか想像もつかぬ場所に封印されたか、はたまた塔に焼かれてしまったか。
ではビビアンから書物を奪ったのは
執行者に違いない。
奴らはなぜそんなことを。
さて、何せその実態は曖昧模糊としておるからの。分かっているのは執行者という号だけだ。
安易に受けたはいいが、こいつは善と多難だな。こうなったら一縷の望みにかけて大陸中の書物を調べてみるか。
大陸、そうか。灰の大陸なら、あるいは執行者の話を聞くのはこの風の大陸のみ。灰の大陸は未だ手つかずかもしれん。クライブ、ガルニックという村へ向かえ。古い知人の家がある。記書の収集家でな。昔自慢していたのを思い出したよ。戦で死んだ後も家はそのままだったはず。だとすればそこにあるのが外観の処刑の最後の一冊だ。彼は書物を通じて知識を広めることを生きがいとしていた。蔵書の一つが役に立つとしたらきっと喜ぶだろ
う。ありがとう、ハルポクラテス。早速向かってみるよ。
Okay, well, off to Garnick to fight our way through some Akashic and find a forbidden book containing the truth about the enslavement of the bearers. Looks like this is where we need to go. Yeah, okay. I have to say, there's one thing I was sort of looking forward to that never happened. It doesn't seem like it's going to happen. I sort of thought eventually the hideaway would become airborne, and we would actually have an airship. It doesn't super fit in with the lore of the world. They've lost that technology since the fallen civilization fell many centuries ago. So I get why they couldn't, it wouldn't be consistent for it to happen. But I sort of thought it would happen anyway, and I'm a little bit disappointed we never really got an airship in this game. Not that it would work with the way the map has been set up and fast travel and all that, but still, could have been interesting.
とにかく外観の処刑を探してみよう。
I mean, obviously, the one with the floating green exclamation point in front of it. I'm surprised we didn't see any Akashic. All right, something on the table here. Royal Intelligencer Training Report. In the wake of the tragic fire at Kirnor Vent in 873 and the subsequent depletion of our most highly practiced intelligencers, all mainland strongholds were instructed to redouble training in clandestine maneuvers, improvised weaponry, and assassination techniques, and dispatch promising volunteers to Stonehere for inspection. This report details progress made by the stronghold at Garnick in reinvigorating Wallowed's ranks of esteemed intelligencers.
これは軍の記録。どうしてここに？
Okay. A complete botany of banes. Iter fetida, or tail of wyvern. White of flower and black of root, the latter of which gives out an inky gall when cut or crushed. The tribesmen of Northern Storm prick their skins with oaken needles soaked in such, drawing curious patterns about their arms and legs in honor of their heathen gods. The gall is passing toxicate, that a single drop taken by mouth may result in cramps most painful for 5 days and 5 nights, or, if applied to a wound, certain death. Should a slip of the needle end a young warrior's life, it is said that his skin print failed to find favor among the heavens.
こんな書物まであるのか。
A couple more books to look at. The Folklorist's Fabulary, The Moogle. No spirit or sprite appears more often in Valisthian folktales than the humble Moogle. Though they are occasionally painted as mischievous souls, akin to pixies or imps, most stories depict them as clumsy yet congenial spirits who delight in helping mankind with their daily labors. They're said to have sweet tooths, leading to the common superstition that one must not leave cakes or other sweetmeats uncovered overnight, lest naught remain but crumbs come morning. In appearance, they're described as being covered head to toe in soft white fur, except the small dark wings by which they're somehow able to take flight, and the brightly colored pom-poms that protrude from the top of their heads. And yet, there is one detail regarding the Moogle that most find more remarkable than even the orb that tops its brow. The fact that the creature actually exists. Preposterous, I hear you cry. Everybody knows that Moogles are the stuff of legend. I quite agree, but every legend has its basis in truth, and in the case of the Moogle, the fact may not be so dissimilar to the fiction. Ancient bestiaries list the white mole whose feet do not touch the ground among the beasts of the realm, and the illustrations besides the name? Why, it's none other than the Moogle. Of course, it's true that the creatures are not known to still survive in the twins in the modern day. Perhaps their miniature wings carry them to other climes. Perhaps they were hunted to extinction. Or perhaps, just perhaps, they do still live among us, hidden away far from human view. Well, Nectar would love to hear that story. And over here we have From a Distance, Chapter 16, wink wink, Final Fantasy 16, The Fall of the Bearers. The emergence of the first magic adepts was widely heralded as a gift from the gods. Indeed, the title with which those with the gift came to be commonly known is most likely a contraction of Bearer of the Heavenly Blessing, the wording used by the tribunes of the time. Those born with the blessing were lauded as living crystals and granted high office and plentiful reward for their status as chosen ones. Over the years, this reverence for their kind would become a full-fledged religion led by the bearers themselves, a development that would prove fateful. The diverse nations of the time were unanimous of their disapproval of the founding of the church. While the authorities had for years welcomed bearers into positions of power in their own structures of state, they were mistrusting of an organization led by bearers for bearers. Efforts were immediately made to chasten the church and its followers, banning members from holding office, evicting adherents from their homes, and breaking up meetings by force. The church responded by forming a volunteer army to resist this persecution, and yet it continued, creating a cycle of ever-increasing bloodshed and rancor, and a growing rift between those born with the blessing and those without. What began with beatings and street clashes would eventually spill over into an all-out war that consumed the greater part of the twins for nigh a generation and decimated the population of men and bearers both. The deluge of blood that stained the land crimson and led an even more lasting mark upon the minds of the Valisthean people. After the bearers' last resistance was crushed, the nations of Valisthea came together to sign the Continental Accord that initiated a system of slavery that persists across the realm to this day. Its well-known phrase, "bearers are other than human," has its roots in the bitter war of the years before, being the unblessed's only excuse for their calamitous refusal to allow the blessed to decide their own destinies.
これだ。よかった、残っていたか。この内容が真実なら。
Yeah. So, how do humans respond to differences between themselves and others? Either with reverence or fear.
まさかとは思うが、金書を持ち出そうなどと考えてはいないかね。
The executors have come to confiscate what we found.
おお、我々を知っておいでとは。ならば話が早い。貴様が持ち出した金書を速やかにこちらへ渡せ。
これをどうするつもりだ。
さて、私個人が決めることではないが、いずれにせよ、それに記されたすべてが永遠に葬り去られる。
なら、できない相談だな。これをご所望する方がいるのでね。
やれやれ、仕方ない。残念だが、力ずくでいただくことにしよう。
Oh, I don't think so, bro. You picked the wrong dude.
随分と手荒なことだ。敗者。取る。やれ。
Who's left? That guy? missed the dodge there. There's 2 dodges there. Enemy slain. All right. That wasn't too bad. Another clutch mine.
見事な腕前だ。貴様から奪うのは難しそうだな。
なぜこの書物を狙う？
外観の処刑。それは人の嫉妬と強欲の記録だ。持たざる者たる人が持てる者たるベアラーを数を頼みに虐げ陥れた恥辱の歴史。貴様はその記録が正しいと思うか？
さあな。
慎重すぎるな。剣の際に比べいささか凡庸な答えだ。まあいい。歴史の解釈に正しさは存在しない。事実の羅列にどんな意味を与えるかの問題でしかない。故に人の数だけ正しさがあるのだ。貴様が正しいと断じれば貴様にとっては正しくなるように。
目的は何だ？
我々執行者は人の守護者。人を害する知識や伝承をこの世から葬り去るが務め。それだけのことだ。今回は貴様に譲るとしよう。世界は狭い。またどこかで会うことがあるかもしれん。ではな。
待て。消えた。ひとまず隠れ家へ戻ろう。ビビアンに届けなければ。
Hiding the truth, hiding information, even with that kind of justification, is basically always wrong in my opinion. Because if people don't know, they can't learn, they can't improve, they can't get better. You know, the arc of justice is long, or the arc of history is long, but bends toward justice. That's the quote, and it only works because people know the truth about what happened in the past. That's why the Nazis wanted to burn books, to prevent people from knowing the truth, to make sure that they only saw the world they wanted them to see, believed the things they wanted them to believe. And it's not just them, it's countless tyrants throughout history. These guys are misguided at best. Anyway, let's head back to the hideaway and give Vivian her copy and see what she has to say. I'm going the wrong way.
Vivian、お前が欲しがっていたものだ。
No mention is made as to the name of the author. Whether that is because the title page has been lost to time or because the tome was published anonymously is impossible to say.
これはまさか本当に。ありがとう、クライブ。実を言えば半ば諦めていた。すべて執行者に処分されたとばかり。
奴らとは書物を手に入れた時に勝ち合ったが、どうやら今回は譲ってくれるらしい。
Convinced should be in quotes there.
執行者は言っていた。人の数だけ正しさがあるのだと。たとえ真実でなかったとしても正しさになりうるだろうか。
そうだ。だからこそ決して誰かの正しさだけで世界を覆ってはならない。それはいつしか必ず 価値観の歪曲と思考の拘束を生み出すことになる。ベアラーの歴史なぞその最たるものだよ。
そういえばこの書物はお前が学者を志したきっかけらしいな。
そのことか。これの著者は異端者だったのだ。万国一致で処刑されるほどのね。異端であることは時に物事の真理に近づく方策となる。孤独を代価として枠の外に立ち、世界をつぶさに観察するということだからな。この書物は人の輪の外にいた私に教えてくれた。私は人を観察する機会を与えられているのだと。それこそが私が世界に関わることのできるたった一つの方法なのだと。
今でもお前は人の輪の外にいるのか。
この隠れ家に来てからというもの、どうにも頭の冴えが鈍った気がするよ。いささか人の輪に近づきすぎたのかもしれん。ならばその輪の中から観察するのも悪くない。そう思うようになった。案外居心地のいいものだとね。だからこの世界を守ってくれ、クライブ・ロズフィールド。そのためならビビアン・ナインテールズはこの地のすべてをお前に捧げよう。
ああ、必ず。
So, a second side quest that looks back. Quest complete. Another one that looks back and considers the nature of reality, of meaning, of truth, of friendship, of relationships with other people, of fear and prejudice. A lot of themes running through this game's storyline, and the writing continues to be well done. So our reward here is the Scholar's Bonnet, Vivian Ninetail's scholarly headwear, awarded to her upon her completion of her studies at the University of Conver. And then the quote from her, "Give the men and women of this benighted world the gift of truth. Make them believe in you as I do." Okay, well, there's 2 down, 8 to go that we know of. The game may spring some more on us before we are allowed to complete it. But that's going to be it for this time. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I think the writing here is very strong, and the themes and symbols that the writers are drawing upon are really nicely done, really nicely interweaved with the overarching story and plot, you know? It's at these moments before, the night before the battle, if you will, that people often look back and reflect on their past, reflect on what ideals they hold, what things mean to them, who they care about. And so as we near the completion of this journey, these side quests are a reminder of the people or the characters that we've met along the way, of the feelings and beliefs that have defined this voyage, this journey through, you know, magic and chaos and icon battles and wars towards a place where we hope that we're doing the right thing. We hope we're saving humanity and that humanity is worth saving. So yeah, really strong writing. Really glad that I played this game and I'm enjoying the last moments here. I hope you are too. And we'll see you in the next one. Take care.